So welcome to this session of the Thriving Family Africa Summit. And today we are very honored to be joined by Coach Emily Omondi, who is a coach at Stawi, and she will tell us a little bit more about what it is that she does and how she does it, as we are going through this conversation on navigating divorce and single parenting, rebuilding with confidence. So Emily is a transition guide for
Yes, ma'am.
parents navigating single parenting. She draws from her own journey and deep compassion for families in crisis, and she supports parents who, through unavoidable circumstances such as divorce, separation, abuse, or loss, find themselves parenting alone. Emily is passionate about creating safe spaces for healing, helping parents rebuild confidence, nurture emotional well being, and strengthen their bond with their children during life's most difficult transition. Welcome, Coach Emily. It's really, really nice to have you here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carol, for this opportunity. It is really an honor to be here. We're so honored. Yeah.
So, can you tell us a little
So,
bit about yourself and what you do?
yes. Yeah. So, my name is Emily Omondi, as Dr. Carol has said. I'm a mother of two children. My son is turning 13 next month. My daughter is turning 11 next month. So, my hands are full. Teenage approaching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm a parenting coach, majorly focusing on the single parents because that's where um, my purpose lies. I serve in divorce care programs. I facilitate there because the transition that after divorce it is really hard to transit, like to go through that phase, like transiting from one stage of marriage and then being in a space whereby you're no longer married. Then you need to also find yourself at that space, and then you have children. So I serve in these spaces where I guide parents on how they're supposed to connect with themselves, connect with the children, and also just connect with the with God in a most personal way. And also I also work with the young mothers, the teen moms. They have gotten children when it is not yet time for them to have children. So they are children parenting children, which means they need guidance, they need a voice, they need someone to hold their hands through that process. So I find pleasure in walking them through that journey and provide the guide, the compassion they need, the empathy they need, and also the wisdom that they need during that time. And just to know that they're seen, heard, and they're felt, and their children are not like now they're able to see their children as a blessing, even though it has come at a time that they did not expect it. Yeah, thank you. And also,
Yeah,
I
this
also
is.
help parents who've gone uh, through abuse. So there is something that
Mhm.
happens when you are in an abusive marriage. The children get affected. They also go through abuse by proxy.
Mhm.
So these children also need help, and the parents also need help to work with their children through that phase. It is hard for children who are living in an abusive home to escape it. It just spills over to the children
Mhm.
somehow. So the children also will have to go through a phase of disconnecting from from the place of abuse to the place of wholeness. So parents sometimes forget the children because they're also healing. It is too much and too hard for them to find a balance. So I am there to guide them on how to get this balance, to connect with themselves, to connect with the children, and also to have conversations with the children during that time as they heal together. Yeah, that's all that I do.
Wow, that's a much, much needed space. I mean, and for you, it's such a wide variety from teen moms who have found themselves parenting as children, really, then
Mm.
moms again going through abuse or who have gone through abuse, how to help them just walk through that journey of repair, healing, recovery together with the children. And I like you're saying, sometimes we forget just how much these children are affected, even if they have not actually witnessed the violence, because there's all the
Yes, yeah.
abuse is still there and it's hidden. And so just being able to give
Mm.
hope to those families who are going through transitions, through divorce. There's a lot of confusion that goes on through that time and a lot of emotional upheaval. So, one thing
Mm.
I have noted about you, it's just how you share with such bold authenticity. And that just really comes through in the stories that you share, especially in your blogs and on social media. It's just amazing to watch how things have unfolded for you over the last, is it 5 years? Yeah. So do you
It's
want to
now
share?
5 years. Actually,
Yeah.
I've just begun my 6th year.
Oh, wow. Tell us a little bit with whatever is comfortable sharing. What are these? And you can weave in now what other parents go through as well. Just going through this journey from, I know there's been abuse to now having to leave and divorce and all that. Just what
Mm.
are some of the
Yeah.
struggles that parents encounter in this space?
Growing from my own uh, journey, I really feared parenting alone.
Mm,
I, I dreaded parenting alone.
yeah.
I did not, I think I just felt that I didn't have the capacity to parent my children. I didn't have that capacity at all. At that time, I felt so defeated. I felt so helpless. Having come from the place, I was torn between saving my children out of the abusive space or going back for them to have a father. Because I did desire that my children have a father because I didn't have one growing up. So it was such a desire, inner desire for me for my children to experience what a father is. And so I sat in that. It was like a paralysis kind of because I could not operate. I felt that it is the father that holds, like they have the most important role in the life of the children. And me as a mother now, what will I do with my children? And then I'm here raising a boy. My first one is a boy. It was so hard for me to even give instructions. It was hard for me to um, I thought it was hard to parent my son until also I started having issues parenting my daughter. I just felt not enough to parent my
Mm,
daughter because I was almost thinking that my daughter will end up like me, that I'm not a good model for them. So I was feeling like I'm not enough alone. Then I was like, how will I parent a son alone and there is no father figure in the house? I had so much fears. And but how did I like the other one was financial instability, and then I'll share how I worked around it. So the other one that really scared me was financial instability. You see, when divorce happens, everything turns around. It's like the whole house comes down because sometimes you have to start afresh. Most of when you're in an abusive space, when you leave completely, and sometimes you can't carry some things along. Sometimes you have nothing to salvage. You just need to have yourself and your children, if you manage to have your children, that is. And also, there's much more that happens when you're in abusive space. When you leave, there's much more abuse that happens even after leaving that
right.
sometimes puts you in a very bad space financially.
Right.
I fear that my children will will struggle to cope
Mm,
if they'll have to now live in a life that they were not used to,
mm,
from the school, the food, everything, where we had to stay now and all those things. I just felt like it's so embarrassing or maybe kind of shame to let my children now downgrade or live a life that they did not even ask for. It's like I was betraying my children. That is how financial instability played on me. Yeah.
yeah. And
So
these are such heavy, heavy questions that parents go through, and that, in this case, moms go through. Will I be able to provide? Will my child be ruined forever, or my children
yes,
be ruined
yeah.
forever as a result of this? Will I really manage out
Mm,
there? And I know sometimes, people wonder, why do people stay in a marriage? Why do people stay there? The fear, the sheer just thought of having to deal with all that vis-a-vis
mm,
in your mind at that time, providing a safe space, a full, complete family for your children, and just being able to give your children a father. That is such a real
mm,
struggle. So
yeah.
how have you been able to work through that?
Um, it was really hard. I I had to connect in my yearning and also my desire to heal because I
Mm,
had to heal for the sake of my children. I had to heal for my own sake, also to relate with other people, because there is a way that abuse spills over to all spaces in parenting,
mm,
even in my
mm,
relationship. So I chose to heal. I chose to seek healing. In the process of seeking healing, I had still placed my parenting role in a corner because I was like, why should I even seek help for parenting? Because I
mhm,
didn't even believe in myself. But then I encountered, I found out about Stawi Camp for parents,
mm,
for well-being for parents and for families. And that is how I signed up for the parenting classes.
mhm,
In the beginning, it was not, I was like, this is, do I really need it? But as I kept on showing up for the classes, I realized that actually it was dealing with myself than even my children. It was actually repairing me. It was making me whole for my children. And that is how I started believing in myself. I started having a self-worth. I now saw myself as a very key role in the lives of my children. I found now my identity as a parent. I found affirmation. I found my voice as a parent. I found also the parenting empathy came out. I was compassionate. I was able to see, feel, and hear my children in different ways. So I sought help, I sought knowledge, I sought community, yes, and I actually have connected things. And that is how that space of fearing to parent alone just was like non-issue now. Yeah, then on financial stability, one time I come home and I had not paid school fees for my children. So my son maybe she, he would have issues and then start making like things about all these things that mommy not done 1, 2, 3. No, he knows how to ask in a gentle way. But my daughter, when she tells me that mommy, I had packed them food to go like when you don't pay school fees, like they say that the children won't eat. So what they did is what I used to do is I packed her food to go eat. So 2 days she could not touch that food. Then I asked her, she was like, I'm not going to school and I'm not carrying any food. And then why? I want to eat in the dining hall with other children when they're eating. And then she tells me, if I was staying with Daddy Mommy, I would actually be in school and I would be eating hot food with other children in the dining room. And I was like, but Ella, you need to understand. I will pay. So can you just go to school, take this food? It is me who cook this food. Let's go and eat it. I'll pay the school fees. That was the very beginning, the first year. And I'm like, what is this now? And she refused. So in the evening, I came back with my payslip. I sat them down and I told them, this is where we are. This is what mommy earns. And these are our budget. And as you can see, our budget exceeds, like the money that mommy earns, the budget exceeds the money that mommy earns. So that's why mommy actually takes time out to do some other things that will bring in income. And because this month we had not actually gotten a client for the detergents and also for food, so we did have extra money to pay these things. So keep in mind that this is the budget for the house every month. So I didn't refuse to pay your fee. This is what we have at the moment, and we need to work with it. And so it became easier. They even started helping. When I'm cooking, they're helping me. For the customers, they help me to do something, to do packaging. When we are going to make the detergents for our clients, we go together, and it became easier. I also made a choice to live in a house that I can afford, to rent a house that I can afford. I took my children to a school that I can afford also. I did a lot of cost cutting, and I had conversations upon conversations with my children, transparency on finances and everything, so that they know we are saving for this. We don't have this now because we are starting afresh. We're starting life afresh. We don't have this, but we're saving towards it. So once we get there, for now, we'll see how to deal with what to use what we have. So they go to understand that when we don't have, but we will have it. But so just practicing delayed gratification on everything and looping them in, making them part of the whole process. Yeah,
I
that's how
really
I
love
dealt with
that,
it.
Coach Emily, because one of the things that parents are afraid of is they think they're giving children too much information. Is it age appropriate to be able to show your child your sleep, and is it going to burden them? And for me, when it comes to this space and how I work with parents in this space is to just let them know, look, you do what you have to do in that moment, as long as you remind yourself you have opportunities to repair, to connect, to continue having conversations around this space. It's not damaging to a child to do what it is you did, because out of necessity you had to do that, so that you also reduce the questions and the pushback. So I think it's just a really good practical story to share, and to encourage parents not to be afraid to do what they need to do in that moment to be able to keep things going. And which now brings me to the question, what does then thriving look like for families after divorce, or for both the parents and children? What does that look like?
Yeah. So connecting with that on being authentic and being transparent with the children, what thriving looks to me is a parent choosing to heal for themselves.
Yeah.
to be that one stable adult in the life of their children.
Mm.
And also because the strains of separation and divorce can leave a parent, never leaves a parent the same. You are never the same parent as you were when you were married.
Mm.
There's a lot of stretching that happens. It's a season to a parent where a parent, like, we have to learn to parent differently. Like the formula is not there, but what happens is how you connect with your children. The connection with your children informs how you're parenting at that time.
Mm.
And also, and it means a lot of self-awareness. It means a lot of a parent seeking their own inner healing first. So for me, thriving for the parent is them seeking the inner healing.
Mm.
That they're so wholesome that the children feel safe around them.
Mm-hmm.
And the children feel like we are in a different season, but my father or my mother is approachable. We can sit together. We are going through a process together. And mommy, like you see, they don't see me as someone that is like I'm pasted on the wall, and there's a way that when they want to approach me, they feel like, hey, mommy's not today, not today. I
Mm.
want my children to feel safe. For them to thrive, they have to feel safe. For me to thrive, I have to be very self-aware and having sought healing for myself. And that is that's what for parents, thriving for parents looks for me. Then for children, it's the parent looks like giving the parent a home that is safe for them. In that in this home they feel seen, they feel heard, and they are felt. Because during the strains of divorce and the abuse and everything, there was a lot of tension.
Mm.
So it is like actually coming down to a space of calmness whereby the child feels like a child. The child feels like they matter.
Mm.
They don't just exist, but they matter. Um, for also this happens in a way that when you make children feel safe and feel at home, you give them room to grieve the loss of the family that was.
Right.
Because now the children will find time to also grieve, because grieving in a calm environment fastens healing. But when the environment is chaotic and toxic, it will delay the healing for the children. So for me, for children, what thriving looks like for children is giving them a home that is safe for them, where they feel like children. They're not forced to live. They're not forced to do things that they're not able to do at that time. The same way I'm gentle with myself as a parent when I'm healing is the same way I create room and an atmosphere for my children to feel very safe, to grieve, to do everything, to be angry, to be happy, to express all the emotions as they walk towards healing. That is what thriving for family looks for me, where they can even have conversation, question my choice to divorce, question my choice to leave the marriage, where they can question me without me shutting them down,
Right.
and where I'm able to give them even age-appropriate answers
Mm.
because they deserve answers.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is what thriving for looks like for me when it comes to the children's space.
Okay. So self-awareness and healing on the part of the parent and on the part of the children, being able to really provide that environment where they feel safe, they feel seen, they
Yes.
feel heard,
Mm,
they're part of the
mm,
decisions. And I think also just what sometimes we miss out is we think that after we've given them the answer once and that's it, they actually will be asking the same questions, still the same questions. So why again did you leave? And first of all, they have seen what was happening, maybe or maybe not, or you have explained over and over, but they keep still asking. So thriving again may look like just being able to hold space for those many questions that keep coming over and over. So in a very practical way, then how do you create stability? How do you create that kind of environment? Just give us examples of you from your own experience and also from how you work with other parents.
mm. Would you take the question again?
In a very practical way, how do you create that environment for stability, for holding space? What are some of the specific things that you do?
Uh, for parents or for
As a
children?
parent, what do you do to create
Oh,
that environment?
as
Yeah. Yes.
for that environment
Yes.
for children.
Yeah.
Um, for children is actually there's something I learned during my season in Stawi camp, that is conscious connection.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually learned to to read the routines of my children.
Mm.
They are different. They are two different children.
Mm.
My daughter, actually, my daughter, so one thing that I know is to read them and to know their personalities and their routine, how they do their, like how their lives are. So my daughter stays late. She sleeps late. And my son sleeps early and wakes up early.
Mm.
But my daughter is a late night person. So when my son goes to bed, I stay back with my daughter to have conversations.
Mm.
And at that time, because she feels she's only with me and she feels all nice, she's able to tell me everything that even she can't tell me normally when the brother is there, or even at other time, because she's very active at night, very active, very sensitive, very conversational, and all that. So I sit, listen, allow her to even vent. Actually, when you talk about things that sometimes children can ask one question forever, even this year, she was still asking that, Mommy, you're a bad person. Mommy, you know, you're a very bad person. You just left. You just left daddy like that. And I was like, okay, what makes you feel like that? What makes you feel like I'm a bad person that they lived like that? And then she explains to me, and I see how it is hurting her. And I see her sense of reasoning and where she's coming from. And I'm like, I find a response that is suitable for her at that time. So, and for my son also, we connect in the morning. So, because I'm a morning person, so we wake up from between 5 and 6, I connect with my son. He tells me things that he fears, his fears, the thing that he's interested in. He's just so vibrant in the morning, and that is how I connect with him. Another thing that I do is I have consistent routines for them. Ella's day for washing utensils, Kyle's day for washing utensils. Everybody has their day for doing one thing in the house. Another thing is I have a supportive network, family network. So we have two close family friends that when I am overwhelmed, they're able to come in and pick my children and stay with them. And our children also have a connection whereby they're safe with each other. So that one helps me. It is very practical for me. Then family values. Um, before I got knowledge of before I joined Stawi, I didn't know. I thought that my rules are my rules, and there is nothing that you can say about it. I am your mother. But now I got to learn about the idea of sitting with the children and having conversations about what is important to them. I bring in, these are the values that are important to me. So in this list, would you choose what matters to you? So we sit with all those values and actually we center them on 5 solid values for all of us. And that has really helped us because now it is easier to discipline them. Because when someone does something, but you remember the day we had agreed, that was the constitution that we looked to. So if we do something that we didn't agree on, so what will we do now? So it means that it is not teamwork. So I just tell Ella, you see, you're not actually, you're not joining us on the teamwork. We agreed on this thing and now you're not doing it. So which means now you are actually not being nice to us. Can you let us do what we agreed on? So it has been really easy for me to have a conversation when someone does something that is not okay, that needs discipline. And another thing that I do is to create a sense of home at home, whereby we have routines on Fridays. It's either a dance Friday or a movie Friday. So now that they're getting into teenage, I'm still trying to see what will work for us
Yeah.
because now people want to do some other movies that I don't even like. My God, what do we do about these things? Or sometimes the dancing are different now, and they're like, "Mommy, you don't know. Mommy, you are not. You're just old." So, but the Friday is actually tradition for us that Fridays is it is a connecting Friday. Friday evening we connect, all of us. And also I let my children feel safe, make home for them with this sense whereby I know what Ella likes on her bed, her dolls, everything, how her bed is supposed to be. I know her character and I know Kyle's character. So everybody must feel like that space belongs to them. Their wardrobe belongs to them. It looks like them. So they feel like this is mine. This is our home. Mommy thinks about me when she thinks about purchasing 1, 2, 3 from beddings and everything else. And also where I'm studying, mommy knows what I like. I know how Ella's books are supposed to be. They have to be a mix of comics and everything. Then Kyle's books are more of football and science and all those things. So I make sure that everybody feels seen and feel known, like they feel like mommy thinks about us when she does a purchase. So those are the things that actually I've practiced with my children for quite some time now. And also I have to communicate to them that I need rest. So on Saturdays, they know mommy does not cook. I don't do anything at all in my house on Saturdays. So you'll eat what you can eat, what you can find in the fridge, you'll warm it and eat it. And me, I'll not lift a finger. I just stay. So they know, they're very much aware. The other days they can ask me why I haven't cooked. But on Saturdays, no one asked me because I communicated, we agreed, we discussed. It is my day. So
So sorry, we had a power outage and we are back. Coach Emily was telling us about how the very, very practical ways that you are providing a space to create routine and stability and for your children to just be able to feel special. And I just really love the practicality of the conversation from the time they go to bed and connecting one-on-one with them to making sure they just have the things that they love and enjoy when it comes to their study space, when it comes to where they store their clothes. Those are really, really little things that really matter. And sometimes when we are overwhelmed in spaces like this, we don't imagine just how much those things make a difference. So I don't know if you were done or you wanted to say a little bit more about how you're creating that space. So back to you, Emily.
yeah, I was done. I will just maybe add something when it comes to what all this brings into the family space when we are parenting is it makes everybody be responsible for themselves. So it is easier to question them. This is the agreement, but why not? This is like setting them up for success. And if it has not happened, someone is able to explain. And again, it does not mean that all these things are like, if you don't do this, then you are not even a good child. It is not like that because there are days, the same way adults have bad days. My daughter does not lie about her bad days. She can even have 3 bad days in a week. And then she tells me,
All back to back, following each other.
yes. And then she just tells me, Mommy, I didn't feel like washing any utensil. I didn't feel like brushing my shoes. I don't feel like touching water at all. What would you do to that child?
Yeah.
Like, we have to sit with her and like, so how do you want me to help you? We just sit, we talk, and they're like, okay, let's go and wash together. Then she finds the mood back and all these things. So it's not that now there is this a standard. If you cross this line, you are no longer this and that. No. It's actually the space becomes safe for them, even to be themselves and even to be authentic. And also it reduces the lying and the fears and everything else. So yeah, because everything is routine, everything is communicated, conversation cuts across. So it makes the children feel safe and do not pretend. And even my son plays a lot. So if he goes and plays football and comes back late, and then I'm there, I'm like, no, we agreed. I'm like, Mommy, I just came in now because I was playing football. Like, I didn't realize, I didn't even know. And I'm like, okay, before you sleep, you make sure that everything is done. And it gets done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And I think one of the fears parents have is that if they just open that door, the children will push. Please speak into that space. Speak into that space.
Uh, I think it makes children feel like they are trusted.
Mm,
For me, it
mm,
has made my children feel like I trust them because
mm,
I've given them a responsibility. And everybody, like, there are consequences for if you don't do this thing. This is the argument that we had. If you do not do one, two, three, then these are the consequences. And we all agree to the consequences. So there is no way you take advantage, and there are consequences for the child. At the same time, they feel so powerful because they are able to do things that they're proud of. There are days I come home and Ella has washed her clothes without me saying. And I'm like, what? You mean? This is so beautiful. And the days she does not wash. So it doesn't mean that actually she's actually pushed the button. It only means that actually this child is being normal and being human the same way I'm an adult I can be. And I think it brings a space for conversations more than the fear of them pushing the button, sorry. So I don't think, I stopped parenting with fear.
mm,
Parenting, yeah, with fear really is something that I had to unlearn how to.
mm,
I have to stop parenting with fear
mm,
because it makes me come in the life in the space of my children with a lot of inadequacies and with a lot of inauthenticity. So I don't do that at all because that is who I was when I didn't know what healing was. But now I don't do that. Yeah.
yeah. So you're doing
And when a
this.
child feels, yes,
Mhm.
yeah. So when a child feels trusted, they feel safe.
That's true. And they're
Yeah.
motivated to actually take action and to take initiative as well. So the whole point
Yes,
here is
yes,
that
yeah.
because Ella it didn't feel like washing dishes that day, it's an everyday thing. You know, she's able to
No, it
express
is
that.
not here.
Yeah, it's not an everyday thing. She's able to express this is where I am
Yes.
at. And I love that when a child feels that they can be trusted, they actually are motivated more to take initiative. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You're being very, I mean, I love the practical, the practical aspects of the doability of it. Sometimes you get into this space of coaching and you feel, okay, this is very
Yeah.
prescriptive. Will it work for me? But I know that these are things that you are practicing every day. This is very practical tips that you're giving parents. And I know this, I mean, I've seen you grow and I've seen you unfold in this space. And it's such an honor to see you create the lessons out of your experiences. So I'm just thinking of this parent who's just at the beginning of this journey. What kind of hope can you give them? What encouragement can you give this parent at the beginning of this journey that is very much full of fear and uncertainty?
Yeah. The fear is there. It's,
Mm,
it's, it's big. I would tell this parent to breathe, to just exhale.
mm,
There's a lot of tension at that time when you're beginning and just don't know what to do. Like everything is tight. There is tension. Everything is like clenched fist and everything. There's just a lot happening at that time. So I would tell this parent to focus on one piece of their life at a time. Because when marriage ends, you have you to deal with, you have the children, you have finances, you have the society around you, you have your work, your career, and everything else. You have your family at that time. And everything is communicating things that you may not like at that time. So you choose what actually your heart responds to, and that is very close to you. That is yourself and your children. The other things will come along if they have to come. So we take one thing at a time. If it is career, it is children, or if it is your healing, you have to prioritize what you want to start with. And actually, I always say that we start with healing ourselves. They have to choose healing from the very beginning. Because when you choose healing, all these other things will fall into place. So we choose healing. Then after that, as we choose healing, our children also tags along because now you become wholesome for them. Because a self-aware parent is a healthy parent, and that family will actually be thriving. So that is what I would actually say that is very important. Your own family, these other people will come along. So there's no bother of what will people say. You should not bother about that. What is important is, are you sane? Are the children safe? That's what matters in most cases.
yeah.
And actually, and another thing is to tag along people who've gone ahead of you and seek help that actually will bring wholesomeness to your own to yourself and your children. Let someone hold your hand. We can't walk this journey alone. There is someone that actually you really need a community. You need a community. You need that one person that even listens if even if they won't say anything. Let someone be there. Just seek help. There's no shame in seeking help. And there's no shame in asking for help and saying that I need help. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll be needy for a long time. I have been needy for a long time. And
Mm.
I learned how to not be ashamed of asking for help in this single parenting space. Yeah,
I think that
that's
is
what I'd
very
say.
important. And you have said you have those 2 or 3 families. So definitely creating a community where you can actually be able to ask help to those specific people. And the other thing that you really pointed out that for me stands out, and it's something because I have gone through that journey of divorce and having to rebuild and build confidence as well. It's to really pay attention to the voices around you that you talk about silencing, you put those other people aside for silencing those voices, because there's a lot of voices that come with the myths and misconceptions around single parenting and divorce, and I have failed and my children will will suffer and my children will be damaged, and therefore being able the healing that you're talking about is very important because it helps you be able to silence those voices so that you can focus on your
Yeah.
healing, children's,
Mm,
your children's healing.
mm,
Thank you so much for
yeah.
sharing today, Emily. You bring again, like I said, you bring boldness, you bring authenticity in this space, and your stories are so very much relatable. And we will be sharing at this summit how people can find you. We're getting all that information so people know how to find you. and information about how you work as well. But is there one more thing that we have left out that you would like to share in this conversation as we wrap up?
Yeah, this one thing, that one very tool that I love, the conscious connection tool. I would actually encourage parents to apply this tool, whereby your children draws you to their world. This tool is actually, when you create the space for the children, it is a tool that transforms you into a home for your child, where your child feels like, this is where I want to be. They draw you to their world, you get familiar with who they are, and they make you a better parent. And this creates a lot of trust and emotional stability, and you become a healthy home. And that is what a thriving family is. It is not on the big things, it is that conscious connection, being very fully present to your child, that they're able to say that mommy is here. 15 minutes are enough. Yeah, you don't need a whole day.
I love that. I mean, I really love the phrase where you create a home for your child, not a home in terms of the physical, but you become a home for your child. That is profound, and I'm sure that goes
Yes,
a
yeah.
long way. And what research
Mm.
shows is that it really fastens the process of healing for the child and for
Yes,
the
yes, yeah.
family as a whole. Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah.
And thank you so much for your time. We really have been honored to have you contribute to this Thriving Family Africa Summit. And I look forward to continuing to engage with you as we move forward. Thanks very much, Emily.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carol. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.